When you want to hear and see more content like this, make sure you subscribe and follow. You're listening to the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast, and I'm Lou Temlett. I know you're having a good day because either you've been on the mats, considering getting on the mats, or maybe you're learning patience. I'm so happy you're here listening or watching this episode. Please don't tap out before the end. When your coach suggests progressing your MMA game, start training Jiu Jitsu. I'd like to welcome Hayley Valentine to my podcast. Hi, Hayley. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. I just want to initially wish you happy birthday for a few days ago. The grand age of 29, Hayley, and you have achieved so much already in your life.
Man, so much has happened, and to say that I've done it and still much more to come is that my life it's just not boring, but it's adventurous, and it's never a dull day for me. It's never a dull day.
I love not dull days. So this is going out on the 27th of December. So hope you have all had a fantastic festive period. You've managed to take a day or two, or maybe a few hours off work, and maybe just more training, because who doesn't love an open mat over the Christmas period?
Gosh, like even I'm still gonna be doing that as well, and it knows that I can still keep busy, keep everything still like going. The muscle memory never goes away, but I do like a good Christmas open mat as well. Christmas jumpers at the ready.
I know. I even managed to get myself a Christmas rash guard last year, Hayley, but I did tempt fate by wearing it in October. Thankfully, I didn't have more submissions against me, more than normal. So I'm calling that even.
It's been a temptation for that for me as well. I was like, no, I'll just keep it at bay with just Christmas jumpers. I'll be all right.
Good. Right. Hayley, we met on the Kairos podcast back in April, back in 2025, April. So let's kind of follow on from there. And if listeners and people watching haven't seen and watched that episode, please go back and check out Hayley's episode, because I was so inspired by you, Hayley. Your positivity, your gratitude, your kind of essence of being just a generally lovely person in such what some might perceive to be quite a vicious sport of MMA.
It really is. And like, this is why just being you, like, I'm just me. Like, I don't have a very vicious persona. Like, when I'm in a cage, you see a focus, but even jujitsu, I'm just me. We go to compete, I talk, I enjoy everything that I do. And you put a performance out there, you put out what kind of person you are in jiu-jitsu and MMA, and it shows you what type of fighter you are.
Nice. I love that. And I love the fact that you're just echoing exactly who you are and embodying everything you kind of stand for, believe in, and kind of exist for. I think some of us may have the understanding that we have to be something different in competition or in fighting or whatever, different to our personal lives. And I know some people kind of embody different personalities to get them fired up, but it sounds like you're using your everyday being to fire you up for your matches.
Yeah, so like when we did when I did Kairos, I was just me. That when you step on the match, you do your thing, and when you come off, we were chatting and talking and just being us. So this is why you don't put a fake person of you, because how long can you do that for? When like if you
Yeah.
try and be a vicious or cold person, and then in a year's time you be nice, people never saw you that before. They could have liked you before then.
Yeah.
This is why people just like you for being you. You can have a character, you can have your funny side, and you could be you, but I don't want to be someone I am not, if that makes sense. I'm me. There's only one of me. Well, actually, there's two because I'm my twin sister, but I'm just me.
Oh wow. Okay. Now you've mentioned a twin sister. I didn't know about this, Hayley. Have you ever made her do anything that you didn't want to do because and made her show up instead of you?
Oh no. She's come into the gym with me to have a look at the space, and we have time together just to sit at the gym and watch training. And people are like looking at me and my sister, you go like, oh yeah, she's got a twin. They're just like, yeah. I find it funny. So she loves what I do. She's proud of what I do. And
Oh,
she knows that it just brings out who I am. And she knows what I was
yeah.
like when we were in school. I was never who I was. This sport has brought me out to who I should always be, me, and be
Wow.
confident to be who I am.
Okay. I've just got kind of tingles with saying that because a lot of us can embody, not our true selves, certainly growing up. What was that like for you that makes it different from how you are now?
Oh my gosh. So, like, to me, if I didn't have this sport or do the things I've done, like the traveling, the competing, if I've never done this, I wouldn't be who I am today. As in, talking to you, talking to any people. And I wouldn't say that I've done this in my life. Like, all of my family have had accomplishments to say that they've done this, they've done that, and they've been adventurous. They've been doing like motorbike racing. My dad was. I like to say I've brought a legacy to my family, and they are super proud of who I am as well. And it shows that I can look after myself as
Yeah.
a girl as well in this world because of what's going on. And oh gosh, I couldn't see anything else beyond this. I'm proud of who I am, and I'm glad I did this 10 years ago. This is
Yeah.
10 years that I've done this, and I'm
Yeah.
proud of who I am today.
Okay, I do want to dig a little bit, Hayley. A day in the life of Hayley as a maybe. Okay, so you're 29 now. 29. Okay, what was it like for you when you were 16?
I was quiet. I was quiet. I didn't do anything. I'll be honest. I never did anything. I would go to school. I'd do college, and I had no inspiration to do stuff, as in like what achievements I wanted to do. There was no
Yeah,
goals. I'll just like get on with life, and there's nothing wrong with that. People do that,
yeah,
but if I missed out on a world where I'd meet the people that I've got in my life, and help my family do what they do as well, I'd be doing nothing. I love
yeah,
reading, which I do now. Um, it'd be not the same at all.
yeah.
It'd be a complete opposite.
It really does sound like that. And I just obviously starting jiu-jitsu, maybe MMA at the age of 19. What was the catalyst for you starting in the martial arts world?
Gosh, like just a peep into this world. It was just so thrilling. Now, looking at when I first stepped into that gym and seeing like all these punching bags, there was a big, we've got a cage ring in the old gym that we had and we've moved. I'm seeing it like this is so different. This is something
Yeah,
that it's like a world. It's like Harry Potter. You go from the Muggle world into a normal world, into the Harry Potter world, and that's how I kind of see it because it's a thrilling life that's never ending, and you meet so much, you see so much. So that's how my little comparison is to that. So,
love
and it
it.
just goes beyond that now for me.
Yeah. So what was why did you start training MMA? Because I'm assuming that was your first introduction to martial arts.
Yeah, so I was in college, so like just a normal thing for me in college, and I was looking to go in the public services, deciding what I wanted to do from there. But I had to do these fitness tests, and I was failing by 1 mark. It was like I need to get fit. So down the road from me was the BST, and I was going past where the martial arts room and the gym is like literally down the hall. So there was a door, and I just peeped in. I just see everything. And then I had a friend tell me, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing MMA. I'm gonna be doing this." So I did one class, and I
Yeah.
just got hooked on for life.
Wow. So that's all it takes is one class of MMA and you're in.
I think it was just something so different, and it's the people that you meet
Yeah.
as well. That's what can help you, and they did, and they have, and have progressed me to who I am today. So the people that I met then and there have helped me progress onto who I am now. So it's the
Amazing.
people as well.
And have you kind of continued those friendships and any shout outs or any kind of continued support that you still have today?
Massive. I feel like our team has grown, and people have had to move on with lives because they've had to
Yeah,
move back to their home countries of injuries, which do obviously come into the sport. But I have grown many friends, and it's my coaches and my current friends, teammates. They know who they are because they've
yeah.
stuck with me, and when they've joined, and I've helped them as well, and we've carried on for the many years till we are today. So all of my coaches, um, yeah, I love them all. I love them all.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Okay, so that was MMA. At the beginning of the episode, I kind of spoke about learning patience. Let's expand a bit on that
Definitely.
for kind of MMA and Jiu Jitsu and what that kind of value, patience, means to you.
Patience is key. Now, people rush into fights. So, and I've had a long time in this game, and it's never easy to get matches for me. But the patience is key because in that key time, you're training, you're detailing everything. You don't just go into an MMA fight with, let's just say, the peeps of certain techniques, and it won't go to plan. So
Yeah,
that little constant of not say yeah constant training, but that little detail that we put into the mats, talking with your teammates, your coaches, it matters.
yeah,
So if you've got an idea what your goal is or your future opponents, you know what you're nailing into. It's like I read for other fighters that their goals, what they go for, they're putting that into place in years of training
yeah,
and they know what's coming up, what new techniques coming up in fights. They study. So that
yeah,
studying is the key part of the patience. And I'm glad for
mm,
that because if you rush into a fight every month,
yeah,
you're not learning. You're learning the cage, but you're
yeah.
not learning that fine detail of a fight IQ. So that's what matters.
Mm. I love this conversation, but I want to you kind of hinted on having a vision or having a goal. What was your goal to kind of keep that patience in the game, so to speak?
So it's referring back to being a better version of me. So every fight I've had, I've evolved. I've
Yeah,
gone to a bigger stage. I've had harder opponents, and it's shown this year for me because I took in that atmosphere of all the fights I've had this year, and it was amazing. And I learn on the job, as my coach said. I learn on the job because you never know what you go into with MMA fights and jiu-jitsu
yeah,
fights. So I learn on the job. And the vision is that I want to be that better version of me. And I want to get the highest as I can.
yeah.
It's not easy, but that patience will make it easy.
Oh, I love this conversation.
Oh,
I just want to kind of transition from the MMA because you transitioned, I guess, relatively quickly into jiu-jitsu, but tell us why.
so after my first MMA fight, my coach is in my fight. He saw me do a donkey guard situation in one of my rounds in my fight. He goes, "That's a jiu-jitsu athlete right there." So he told me to go do jiu-jitsu straight after, and I was hooked. And I've not stopped with the jiu-jitsu because I love the mat time, and it's
Yep,
been a part of my it's part of me. And it's part
yep,
of me because I remember when I was a white belt, a blue belt, and it's still purple belt where I was competing every month. So I will admit
wow,
that. But it's because I loved it. I loved the atmosphere. I loved the vibe Jiu-Jitsu brings because you meet so many people. You see the atmosphere when you compete, especially the super fights,
yep,
because people like to watch what's going on. And it's helped me evolve to be my type of jiu-jitsu play that I currently do have.
yep,
And yeah, it's been amazing. That's why I do recommend people is like you if you ever think of competing, now if you're still a white belt, you try it because you get the taste of it. Because
yep,
once you do it, you will get hooked like I did. And it's the best way you could do because you know you've got self-improvement in you. And it's helped me improve.
yep.
And it's helped me like I've got all my rack of medals at the back of my bed there to see that what I've achieved. Um that know that I did that.
Amazing. And I think seeing those rewards helps kind of solidify and kind of make real the achievements that you've gone through over the last 10 years as well.
Yeah, and to be given the opportunities I've have, the rewards. It's like the rewards is like win or learn. Now this is
Yep.
people like to go to win. We always live to win, but the learning is actually the massive difference that helps you because it's a wake up call. And people don't realize the learning helps you to develop, not just the wins, because the wins is a great achievement,
Yep.
but the learning is where you see everything more because you study yourself, you study the opponent. And that's why people don't look at that part. That's what they
Yep.
miss. So you need to keep an eye on what your, it's not holes, but it's just the areas.
Yep. I had my first win back in October, I think, maybe November. I've lost track of the year already. And that was, I had a plan. I followed through with the plan. And I know I had a wonderful guest on for the Jackarus podcast who countered the claim of having a plan, following through with the plan, achieving the plan. And her, Hayley Heather,
Oh, yes.
she doesn't have a plan and just goes with it. But she came away with a win from the recent Jackarus Invitational, which was just incredible. And it just shows that any personality, any style has achievements. And I think, that's really good to hear that, it's not the same for everyone. And I think that's really important as well.
Yeah, like you can go with a plan, you don't go with a plan. You play your game. But if
Yeah.
you know your focus is in there, you can do it. It's self-belief as well. Like if you don't believe in it and you don't have
Yeah.
confidence to do it, you're just holding yourself back. So the way to go forward is that you just go in there, give it your all, and you know you've
Yeah.
done it. That's the
Yeah.
main thing as well.
Okay, you've mentioned the word confidence. What advice do you have for anyone that feels they might not have the confidence to step in on the mats for their first competition or even step in the cage for their first MMA fight?
I always believe in try. Like you can. There was a thing I saw a picture where a person was just sat on a chair thinking, "Yeah, I'm going to do this. Yes, I'm going to do this," but it was each year is counting down.
Yeah,
How long can you wait for till you say yes? I'm going to do it. You can only
yeah,
say so long to say yeah, 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 I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. You put something off. Just try.
yeah,
You just try. And like the worst thing you do is just tap. That's it. You just tap, and that's when you learn. And you go like, okay, yes, I can do this. You go, no, okay, I'll give it another time. You give it another couple of months or so. So you don't
yeah,
know, and you try. Trying is the one that's the biggest change of your life. Like I tried it, and it's made me enjoy it. People may enjoy it, so you don't know until you try.
yeah. So it sounds like take the opportunity. If a thought comes into your head and you want to give it a go, get on and try that particular thing because unless you try, you never know.
Exactly. You never know. It's like if you don't ask, you don't get as well. So you never know.
Exactly, exactly. This episode is sponsored by BST Academy. BST Academy offer a wide range of martial arts styles at affordable prices to allow you to have the best chance to learn and achieve in martial arts. There is a full timetable for you to choose from, including Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, no-gi Jiu Jitsu, MMA, wrestling, boxing, judo, and striking. BST has been working on community projects for a number of years, helping the community with self-defense classes and confidence building. They provide free classes to women and juniors in Northampton. Go and check out their timetable over on bstacademy.co.uk/MMA/timetable and go and follow at BST MMA Academy over on Instagram. This is the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast with me, Lou Temlett, coming to you from the UK. Keep checking out all the clips that drop as soon as I've recorded an episode, usually way before it gets officially released, over on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. That's the first time I've actually managed that line. Yes! Today, I'm having a conversation with Hayley Valentine. Hayley, I also want to congratulate you in 2025 for achieving your black belt. Congratulations. Tell us about that experience.
I never knew it was going to come. Now, but when we had our grading, I never knew, I didn't expect it to get it because I still had so much I wanted to accomplish as a brown belt. There were so many, I'd pre-booked comps to do at brown belt because I was going to do the London Open as a brown belt.
Yep.
Um, and there was a few girls in my way. I think it was like a few days like later, a few days before. And then when I just broke into tears when I got my black belt. It was just so emotional. It was like I've not said I've done it, but I've got there
Yep.
because it's a long and eventful journey of doing jujitsu. And oh, the day had come as I wore that black belt around my waist, and I was so emotional. I was so emotional. And then a few days later, I went to do my first black belt debut, and
Whew.
it was amazing because I'm glad I did it. It's going to be never ending now. I can
Yep.
continue it, and the next step would be the Legends of Legends of getting the other belt. So I'll just keep at it.
Amazing. What was I want to say congratulations again, but part of my mind is going 3 days before a competition and you've got loads of people in your bracket. What the heck? How did you manage the transition? Obviously, very well, but where did that leave you in terms of competitors?
So when I saw that, when I signed up to do the black belt, because I had to change over, and I saw he was
Yeah,
in there, I'm just game. I'm just like, right, okay, I've got these girls. I'm going to give them my all. And I
yeah,
was mentally prepared anyway to compete. So that never
yeah,
changes whatsoever. Um, and I was happy. And what did I get? I got a silver. I think I got two silvers because I did gi one day and it was no gi the other day.
yeah,
I was happy. I was happy to do it. And what have I got? So I've got nothing booked in yet for another black belt one, but I've still got more choices. Like I want to
yeah.
do the Europeans and I want to do. Oh, there's lots more. There's lots more. I'll probably have a look at my calendar to see what I could do.
Amazing. Have you found throughout your jiu-jitsu career enough athletes to competitors or even hobbyists back in maybe white belt days, enough competitors to be matched with to actually fill a division for you?
So yeah, it's actually amazing you said that because when it's easier to get matches when you're white to blue. There was loads back then for me. But as soon as I started going from purple and up, it was getting harder
Yeah,
because it was one for weight. Um, some were not even in my age bracket.
yeah,
It was just getting harder. So this is why, like, when you want to compete, you want to do it as most as you can between white to blue because there's loads of girls or competitors. Then it's getting harder
yeah.
because people seem to be worried about their status. Now, I don't,
Okay.
not saying I care about my status, but I like to give it my all.
Yeah,
Um, so this is why, like, I don't want to be worrying that I'm holding back because I want to be the never undefeated jiu-jitsu player in the world. Like everyone wants that, but
yeah,
I want to be the one that says that I give it my all and I'll fight someone that's in front of me and take these opportunities whilst you can. If someone is your weight and your level, please do it. But it's
yeah,
getting harder now. It was getting harder throughout the years, and that's where patience was coming into key to
yeah.
practice.
Nice. I know some of us kind of struggle to get matches, and even at blue belt level, depending on your weight category and various other factors. But it sounds like taking those opportunities, whatever they are, whether you're a masters athlete having to fight an adult, um, it's just having those practice experience, certainly in the white and blue belt years, sounds like a good option.
For sure, because it doesn't matter. But also, it doesn't matter. But if you're still doing a jiu-jitsu match at the end of it, now I've seen many people do masters versus adults, and they do that in absolutes.
Yeah,
It's just down to you that you are down to compete. And
yeah,
it's believing you can still do it. You should never underestimate yourself. You should never estimate them because you're both still people on the mats at the end of the day. And you
yeah.
both do jiu-jitsu. And that's why you should believe in yourself. And you know you can do it. You know you can come away to be able to do something you thought you never could do.
How have you ever had to deal with anyone saying, actually, maybe I don't think you should do this match? Or has it always been really supportive and kind of positive, regardless of the categories or the divisions or the ages for you?
No, I've actually just had it recently where people have said, like, "Why should you be doing this?" Because I am small. I am
Yeah,
small. I am light, and when people I've been matched with girls that are probably quite heavier than me, and I would be game to do it, but my coach goes like, "No, why are you willing to do that?
yeah,
You're putting yourself at risk in a way as well." If it was like the absolute thing, which I've got coming up, that's
yeah,
fine because I'm willingly putting myself into that.
yeah,
But I have been questioned about it a lot. But you've got to put something into risk of health and safety for yourself.
yeah,
And I do listen to my coaches for that. So I respect their decision and I do
yeah,
do it. But if they believe that I could do it,
yeah,
then I will listen to their
yeah,
decision. So you got to speak with not just yourself, but your coaches as well. You got to, it's a team thing. So
yeah.
you take that into mind.
Yeah, it's just sometimes, it's really quite difficult to balance the yes, I just want to match,
Mm.
and well, actually, that there's a risk here. If you're a senior masters athlete, kind of dropping down 20, 25 years to fight an opponent, um, there are risks, and I get that. Um, so it's a kind of for me personally it's also a mental struggle, because maybe this is where ego comes in. You've maybe got a coach that might be suggesting actually this is not for you, but me going actually I just want to do this match, I just want more experience, because if I'm not taking these opportunities, then I don't know, a part of me, and this is ego, I can hear it shouting, is like, well, just give up, don't compete at all. But there's just that part of me that does have that little bit of fire to kind of gain more competition experience, however silly that might feel, getting close to the age of 50.
It's not silly because if it's someone that is your same weight, that's completely fine. The
Yeah,
weight is what makes the difference at risk. The age, no, no.
yeah,
You should. I think you should believe in yourself, and I know you can do it because
yeah,
you're growing in your self belief and you're growing in confidence, and everything is progressing.
yeah,
So I believe you can do it, and the age thing should not matter. It's just the weight that makes the difference.
yeah.
Um,
Okay,
but when it's like, let's say 2 to 3 kilos difference, that's fine. But
yeah,
when it's growing up to 10 kilos, it's like, yeah, that's a massive difference there.
yeah. I think it's understanding the risks in all of these things. And the more responsibilities we have throughout life, the more risk that we apply to our mindset, possibly. And that's kind of the factor. But it's reassuring that, you're suggesting same weight, then just go for it. We know how to tap. There's no shame in tapping early and all of those things. But there's also that kind of, the drive and resilience. But sometimes it's hard to believe in yourself if you've come through the generations, and or the years of life, and you're not feeling quite so confident and you're not feeling quite so self-assured as, someone like you that has, you know grown in confidence over the years, and at black belt can kind of demonstrate that resilience, and I'm just going to try it.
I think you should because about years ago as well, when I was probably white to purple, I
Yeah,
did do all the absolutes as well. And I loved it. And I remember the heaviest girl I had was 79 kilos.
yeah,
And I put myself into the absolute again. I willingly did it. Um, and I still think you don't know till you try. And again, like you said, you know how to tap.
yeah,
And it's just something we learn, especially because we do self defense with jujitsu. If you can handle yourself with that, then you know you can deal with it outside of the jujitsu world for self
yeah,
defense. So you've got to think how you can grow with that, knowing how you can deal with certain weight differences, but you
yeah,
try it in training as well, not just in competition.
yeah,
Because at least you have trust in your teammates.
yeah.
So it's a massive thing to think about as well.
I've seen some stuff recently about competing with, or kind of training with guys, because obviously most of the gyms are filled with guys. There are a growing number of women on the mats, but training with women. Um, in preparation for competing, how important is that in terms of your growth and kind of competition experience?
So with women, now this is what matters because women have more technicality and different ability than men.
Hmm.
Men have a different kind of, it's not strength, but it is kind of strength because that's what they use against men because it's a
Yeah,
very testosterone thing. But with women, we have a different ability when we compete and train. So you need to understand how a woman is training.
yeah,
And for me, it's crucial because then you know what frame you're dealing with. Because women, we have a obviously a feminine body, where men are quite obviously butch and everything.
yeah,
So you've got to understand that because you're not going to be competing with men.
yeah,
Even though you will deal with men in situations if needs be for self defense.
yeah.
It matters a lot. It matters a lot for
Yeah,
me.
I was privileged enough to have a female training partner at the over 40s open mat recently, and shout out to Emma. The first time I met her, and I love meeting new women, especially in the over 40s category, and her technique, it was very refined. There was something really beautiful about observing another woman in the sport of jiu-jitsu. It just felt more considered, that, like you say, the frame's different, but the techniques are just, there's just that refinement that I've noticed, that I hadn't appreciated until you see it in real life. I don't observe it very much from the guys, but obviously the high level jiu-jitsu athletes, you do see it, but it's just a joyous seeing it in other females.
Yeah, like and you're right. Excuse me, because with growing numbers in our gym for females, and some of them have been coming between 6 months to 2 years. And you're right, the detail is so refined
Yeah,
and so tight. It's like they see the gaps that guys don't see.
yeah,
So that's what matters because we can find a little, let's say, refined little gaps.
yeah,
And I was rolling with a lady in my gym the other day, and I was just shocked because she and others see what others don't see, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Because you can't leave anything behind. You can't leave, you go from step one to step five. You can't do that.
yeah,
Every of the girls go step one, step two, step three.
mm,
And we have every ability to finish those techniques and know how to put it into our benefit. And that's what makes us very, I don't want to say ferocious, but we are ferocious. But we
yes,
are, but we are who we are as a female. We're
yeah.
deadly in our way.
I would agree. It's just, I love seeing more women on the mats. I love seeing more people in general just embodying the art and the sport of jiu-jitsu, as well as seeing people on invitationals, Hayley, because you've got Quatrolinhas Super Fight coming up at the end of January.
I do, and I'm so looking forward to that. It's like first thing into the new year, super fight, and main event as well. Like I'm the
Ooh,
main event. It's like, oh my god, it's such a big fangirl there, which is a big thing because it's something to look forward to, and I am
yeah,
training for it. I'm mentally there. Like, again, preparation. I'm
yeah.
ready for it, and I want to give another version of me into 2026.
Amazing, amazing. What we like to see, because I've spoken with one of the post match interviewers, Irfan. Shout out to Irfan. He will be there, probably interviewing you after your match. But what are we looking for? What exciting things, without giving too much of your game away, maybe, for Quattrolinos next invitational?
Oh, see, like in my previous super fights, I think I've been quite a very pressured kind of player because of
Yeah,
the MMA wrestling into that. But I want to play more of my just my style. I never get to bring a lot of my style recently, which I'm not giving away. Um, but because I always seem to bring that MMA pressure, which I
yeah,
do, they've seen, like people have seen my matches
yeah.
and they know that what I'm like and what my history is. And I want to be people say, "Oh, don't be boring." It's like, and I don't want to. I'll just stay on mate for the wins and all that stuff. I don't like to do that. I
Yeah.
like to be not say spontaneous because you can't be spontaneous in jujitsu, but I want to play my jujitsu game that I do in training, and I want to bring
Yeah.
it to Quatrolinhas.
Amazing. I like the sense of maybe shifting up your game a bit for 2026. Whilst you may not have or want to share any of your other fights, is that a new direction and one that will continue for a while as black belt Hayley, the Bloody Valentine?
Yeah, like I've got new little tricks that I've built out throughout this year, but I've not got to shown it because, like I said, I've not been able
Nice.
to compete as much this year.
Yeah.
So hopefully those tricks will come out in the new year.
Very
Um,
exciting.
yeah, like if people want to say like, what is new with you? What is always your step up? It's
Yeah.
not just a step up, but it's a new way of insight that I've seen in my training partners have given me.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I wanna hopefully bring that into the super fight very soon.
Amazing. Do you have anything else to add? As this is a kind of end of year wrap up for the Jiu Jitsu Lu podcast, as it's going out on the 27th of December. So we're approaching the new year. Anything to add, Hayley?
It's just sad, like, look, just watch this space for new things. Um, I don't want to be boring. I want to have a very adventurous life. I want people to try new things in life. As a New Year resolution.
Yep.
Try at least one event. Like, even if it's just a nice local one or into clubs,
Yep.
try something. That's a message I want to kind of bring out to people is try and listen with your coaches because they're there to guide you. And they do it for a reason. They show love for
Yep.
you for a reason.
Yep.
And there's many ways of doing all these open mats as well. Like you say, you've had an opportunity to do yours. Try them. Try learning with other females. Um, it's just try this year. The new word into the new year is opportunities. So that's a message I want to bring out to people.
Amazing. There will be lots of opportunities, Hayley, and I'm sure we will see you on many more invitationals, many more super fights to come. And I'm always inspired by your generosity of, just your positive vibe, your kind of uplifting nature. It's always such a joy to chat with you.
I say like I like people to like we me and Mo, we competed at the oh gosh, English Open a couple of weeks ago, I think it's back, and we met so many people there. And I'm just being me. I haven't got a stone cold face on. If you want to talk to me, we talk. If people don't want
Yeah,
to talk before the match, that's how people are. Um, yeah, I just love competing. Like this year has like with MMA. I think I had what three jiu-jitsu this year, but the
yeah,
English Open was a nice cap off for me. That's my third, actually my third black belt, third or I can't remember, competition, and I'm glad I did it. And there's hopefully more to come as my new black belt style now for the rest of my life.
I love it. The rest of your life, and it's a very long one, Hayley.
It's going to be a long but lovely journey, and I'm going to endure every moment of it. And people should endure everything they do. You're training, you're try traveling, try
Yeah,
looking at just doing a few open mats, and oh, you got to take it all in. This is a new life, and you should take it in. Take it in. I've took it all in for the rest of my life, and I'm trying to progress it onto still into my family. But everybody's got lives to do,
yeah,
and that's why I'll just try and give them like little self defense, home techniques, and yeah, live life, live
amazing.
life.
On that note, Hayley, how can people follow your journey if they are not already?
So you can follow me on Instagram, which is Hayley V MMA. If you want to check out like my history as well, like you see what kind of person I am. I have fights and jiu-jitsu stuff on YouTube. You just type in Hayley Valentine, you can just see what I do. And it's a thing I like to reflect on, and they can see what my life is like as well.
Amazing. Actually, before you go, I've noticed you've been doing some commentating or doing some MC work at events. Have you got a
Yeah.
moment to talk about that?
You know what? I did it once and I did enjoy it. And I'd love to have more opportunities to do that if anybody's willing to have me, where I have a very sophisticated style as well of being an MC like person as well, where I get to dress up, like which I rarely get to do.
Yeah.
I loved it. And seeing the fighters come out, I was like, that was me as well. So being in the middle with the mic and announcing, like I could feel that aura. So if anybody wants to have me, I am available.
Good. Hayley, that's one of my visions. I was chatting with my coach, and it's like I love doing the competition. I love training. I love learning, but hosting a podcast and growing up, hearing the MCs on things like WWF or whatever the things were back in the 80s and 90s, I go, oh, I kind of want to have a little go at that. So maybe we can have a little double act, Hayley.
I think we should. I think we'd love it because you just got that aura. You can bring that little characteristic into it. I loved it. And I think like you'd enjoy it as well.
Yeah, we'll have to set something up, Hayley. I mean, if people have got this far in the episode, then they're obviously the ones that might be able to link us up with MC jobs.
Exactly. Well, we're ready. We're ready for it.
Okay, on that note, Hayley, thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone. And just best of luck and keep trying. There are so many opportunities for everyone. Thank you, Hayley.
Thank you.
Obviously, you have got this far. Thank you so much for listening over the last 12 months. I really appreciate you. There have been incredible listener stats and people watching and kind of consuming content. I just want to thank you because it's been such a fantastic journey for me. I'm always looking for stories, connections, and growth in the sport of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So, whoever you'd like to see on the show next, drop me a DM. Get in touch and let's see what 2026 opportunities are coming our way. Anyway, thanks again for listening. Catch you on the next episode of the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast.